Good afternoon and welcome to this week's programme, which has the salty flavour of the northeast about it. Country where the memories of players such as Milburn, Shackleton, Mannion and the like will still be part of the folklore in 100 years' time. Our main match comes from Ayresome Park, where Middlesbrough played Norwich City, and it's sensational. We also follow Sunderland to Villa Park.
And following yesterday's news that Gary Birtles is on the move to Manchester United, stand by for the name of the world-class player Nottingham Forest now hope to sign.
But don't let's waste a moment and go straight away to Ayresome Park for Middlesbrough against Norwich. On the face of it, and bearing in mind our record there, hardly an inspired choice. But just you wait and see. Your commentator, John Motson.
It's been a good week for the two captains here. Tony McAndrew of Middlesbrough makes his 200th senior appearance for the club today. And Norwich's Kevin Bond has been selected again for the England B squad and hopes he's shaken off a foot injury, which almost kept him out today. The team news is that Middlesbrough make two changes. Jim Platt returns in goal after injury, and with Terry Cochrane still unfit, David Shearer replaces Irving Nattrass as Borough revert to a 4-3-3 formation. Billy Ashcroft fit enough only to be substitute, so 19-year-old Mike Angus continues at centre-half. Some different names in the Norwich side since we last saw them. Number 3, Richard Simons, has been recalled to do a marking job. Number 5, Ross Jack, is a midfield player who scored on his debut on this ground in the league for Everton. And number 9, Drazen Muzinic, is the club's recent signing from Yugoslavia. And he renews his acquaintance today with Middlesbrough's Bosko Jankovic. They once played together in an international for the Yugoslav team. Norwich looking for their first away point of the season. They've lost all 4 games in the league away from home, and they've let in 10 goals in the process. Referee this afternoon is Alan Banks from Radcliffe in Manchester. Johnston, great favourite here at the moment. Now the captain, McAndrew. This is Bailey. This is Fashanu. Jack's making a good run inside. This is Woods. Oh, and Fashanu got a chance there he wasn't expecting. The ball came to him off the head of Ian Bailey. Not really having time to react properly. Here's Angus. That's Shearer. Interchange with Hodgson. Simons with the defender, who was finally penalised. Johnston up, and Armstrong's in there, saved by the goalkeeper's feet, back by McAndrew, and in! And on his 200th first-team appearance, the captain scores. Coming from a free kick by John Craggs, Armstrong's first effort hitting the goalkeeper, Hansbury, and Tony McAndrew heading through to put Middlesbrough into the lead after 7 minutes. And I'm sure that they won't mind me saying what a welcome change to see a good Middlesbrough goal on Match of the Day. Barham. That's a splendid ball, really spreading the play wide. And Goebel out there coming inside his man. Shot was blocked by Johnston. Here's Fashanu. Fashanu's cross, and Jack got a touch on that, and away by Bailey. I think Jim Platt, let's just see what Goebel can do. Jim Platt might feel he's been rather fortunate twice, having just come back from injury. He's had a couple of anxious moments, and he survived each time. This time it was Bailey who was on hand. Here's Shearer. Good running by Shearer. And oh! Hodgson coming in, put it wide. disappointment on the faces, but David Shearer certainly made use of the space, and Hodgson was coming in so fast that he was almost too fast. It's Angus. Proctor has gone down, and the linesman flags it's a free kick. McAndrew. Hodgson is out wide, it's a good ball. Johnston coming in, and so now is McAndrew. And he's hit the post! And Bond got the ball away. Well, Tony McAndrew is making this almost a virtuoso performance. He scored one, and he hit that beautifully through a crowd of players. And it came back off the post, and Kevin Bonds scooped it away. On the near post, it was Hodgson with the header. Well, I can honestly say that the score could quite easily have been 3-2 at this stage. As it is, Middlesbrough lead by 1-0. Armstrong. Bailey. Foul by Powell on Hodgson. That's Jankovic. That's Hodgson. That's away by Simons. Then headed back by Armstrong to Hodgson. Armstrong once more. Then to Shearer. There's Armstrong! And Hansbury saves. Well, Armstrong playing a nice 1-2 there and getting through for the return, but just couldn't place his shot wide of the goalkeeper. To admire there was the skill of Clive Woods. Here's Padden. Wide to Goebel. A rather careless ball by him, which didn't quite merit the corner that it got. Nevertheless, it was given away by McAndrew, and Goebel will take it. Barham. Goebel. Again. By Johnston as far as Barham. Oh, here's a break for Middlesbrough with Hodgson. He's got Jankovic to his right. He's got Shearer through the centre. There's Jankovic. And Middlesbrough have got three players coming from the back now. And one of them is Angus, the centre half on the far post here. Missed it, Jankovic! Poor Roger Hansbury, he knows that's his fault. Hodgson started that with a good run down the centre. He found Jankovic out on the right. The cross looked too long, but Mike Angus beat Kevin Bond to it. And when his cross came back in, poor Roger Hansbury made a terrible mess of it, and Bosko Jankovic made it 2-0 with 31 minutes gone. Here's Fashanu. That's Barham's cross. Oh, and Padden came in first. Scored his first goal of the season last week, Graham Padden, against Birmingham City. There goes Jankovic, and the goalkeeper's committed himself rashly here. They're queuing up in the middle. And out from underneath the crossbar, Johnston's in there. Here's Armstrong. And a turn by... Oh, Johnston goes it on Hansbury. It was McAndrew in your picture who had that last shot, incidentally. And as he did so, Johnston went in to challenge Roger Hansbury, and the Middlesbrough player got the worst of it. Well, what an exciting first half, and it may seem strange to congratulate the manager whose side are 2 down, but I'm sure John Bond's tactics of only playing 3 defenders today contributed to the number of goal chances at both ends. Middlesbrough took the 2 that mattered, Jankovic got the second goal, and McAndrew got the first, but it could easily have been at half-time Middlesbrough 5, Norwich 3. So many incidents were there inside the respective penalty areas. The industrial skyline of Teesside, and what a pity that so much unemployment in this part of the northeast means that more people are not coming to watch Middlesbrough play inside Ayresome Park, because the team these days really are playing some attractive football in spite of the reputation that they've sometimes had in the past. Middlesbrough, who start the second half, have been the one northeast club to provide first division football consistently over the last 6 years. John Neal's certainly got a good young side here. This is Armstrong, only 25 still himself. He's through. Played it inside to Jankovic. Well, Bosko Jankovic needs only 1 goal now to beat his total for the whole of last season, because as Armstrong threaded his way through there, Jankovic turned and shot just wide, but Bosko's goal today is his 3rd of this season, and 3 was his total for the whole of last. Proctor's header, then Powell, then Armstrong, then Shearer. Oh, and nicely done again by Middlesbrough. Here's Armstrong, and he's got Jankovic in here, and Hansbury makes a good stop. Just got his left hand to it. Beautifully set up by little Armstrong. He put Jankovic in, Jankovic took it early, and the goalkeeper made a good save. Oh, what a mix-up, and it's gone in! Well, who's going to get the credit for that, I'm not quite sure. It was certainly Armstrong's corner, and it went through a whole crowd of players and finished up in the net. Fashanu. Johnston. Bailey. Shearer. Armstrong. McAndrew. Hodgson. He's got Bond to beat. Good tackle, but Hodgson so quick to win it back. Driven in, and Bosko Jankovic at the far post. And Middlesbrough could be onto a hatful here, they really could. They've missed so many chances and torn the Norwich defence apart so often and so completely. With crosses like that, by Fashanu and away by Angus. And Norwich must be regretting those first half chances that went begging, and they were still in with a chance of doing something in this match. This is Woods. That's Fashanu. And away by McAndrew. Good punch by Jim Plattner. Scoble. It's Padden and hooked away by Armstrong for Hodgson to chase. It was nicely taken out by Richard Simons. Oh, a mistake by Muzinic has put his fellow Yugoslav in possession. Jankovic. And Middlesbrough have got players over. Hodgson and Hansbury just gets there in time. And with an hour of the match gone, Middlesbrough have 3, but they could so easily have had 6. Jankovic. Oh, and Armstrong was coming. Armstrong! Oh, well, that could have gone anywhere. And Hansbury just scooping it out from David Armstrong. Johnston. Shaking them off nicely. Proctor's in there with a header. Oh, he's put it over the bar. Well, they've missed some really good chances of Middlesbrough. Good cross by Craig Johnston, and Mark Proctor really should have put that in. His header was just too high. Free kick to Norwich. And Norwich are warming up their substitutes. And it looks as though Ross Jack is the man coming off. And he'll be replaced by a well-known figure, Joe Royle. Having said that, Tony Powell in the Norwich defence has got his knees strapped, and as Royle comes on there's a story behind the Powell injury which may have even more far-reaching consequences for Norwich, because he's going to need an operation very soon, and they've been putting it off as long as they can. Fashanu on the near post, and well taken by Platt. And on the break, Craig Johnston has got Hodgson down the right and Jankovic through the centre. Proctor. Wide on the left is Ian Bailey. And again, given away again. Bailey's still in there fighting for it, in a corner finally. McAndrew, and a corner again. Hodgson's flick. Oh, and it's gone in off Woods, I think. Hodgson certainly got the first touch for Middlesbrough. But I think it may well have gone in off Clive Woods. The corner curled into the near post, a back header by Hodgson, deflection in, and it's 4-0. And that's come with 18 minutes left, and frankly, Middlesbrough worth every one of those goals today. Norwich completely taken apart. They've now let in 2 goals from corners. Well, Jim Platt having a comparatively quiet second half at his end. Fashanu's through here for Norwich and scores his 10th goal of the season. Mistake by McAndrew, who just completely misjudged it and let Fashanu through, and within a minute Norwich get one back. Justin Fashanu, who started today as the joint leading scorer in the First Division, goes into double figures, and in fact he's now scored in 7 of the last 10 games, and he won't get many easier ones than that, will he? So what an afternoon at Ayresome Park, a ground where in the past we've seen, as Middlesbrough will admit, many goalless draws and 1-0s, but today it's 4-1 and there could be more. Jankovic. Inside it goes. Here's Johnston. Oh, saved by Hansbury. Tipped it over. Really cracked that, Craig Johnston. And Hansbury did well to turn it over. Johnston's at the far post, and Johnston's got that one without a doubt. Well, 3 goals in no more than a couple of minutes, and Craig Johnston heads it at the far post from David Armstrong's corner, and the score is now 5-1. And John Neal and his coach, John Coddington, must be delighted. Goebel. Fashanu! Bailey was ball watching there. Goebel's cross, the defender watching the ball, and Fashanu coming in behind him, but neither the angle nor the contact good enough. It's Craggs. Jankovic. Oh, Wood's got one in the face there, and Barham takes the free kick, and here's Woods on the ball. Woods with the kick, there's Patton going in, Johnston's there again, Fashanu. McAndrew, back in by Patton. Middlesbrough thoroughly enjoying their football in this second half. They've had time and room against this Norwich side to exploit the angles, put players in free positions. Bailey. Johnston. A header by Hodgson, hooked away by Simons. Angus, Craggs. Proctor, Craggs again. Is he offside? Jankovic? No, he's not. Now then, can Jankovic do it here? He can! Thumped it in. And with 10 minutes to go, Bosko Jankovic scores again. Once more, Norwich a man short at the back. The ball played at the right time, putting Jankovic through, and this time he's finishing absolutely on target. There's Fashanu. Johnston. Early ball played again by Proctor, but this time not finding Jankovic. Middlesbrough have revelled in this freedom in the second half, and Norwich gamely trying to do something right at the end of the match. That's Barham looking for Joe Royle. Woods. And the referee brings to an end one of the more memorable afternoons afternoons at Ayresome Park, and John Neal shakes hands with John Bond, because his side have proved that he's got a team here who do know how to attack and do know how to put the ball away. A day that Bosko Jankovic will remember, but a day when the whole Middlesbrough side played with flair and freedom and exposed the Norwich team, who came prepared to attack but got taken apart in defence and have now let in 16 goals away from home this season in the First Division and haven't taken a point. A consolation goal from Fashion, who was all they could manage. And that's one of the old-fashioned football scores, isn't it, when games used to be like that more often. Middlesbrough 6, Norwich City 1.
Well, now for our last match action, which comes from Villa Park, where Villa, certainly not without a championship chance, played Sunderland, who've been far from overawed since returning to the First Division. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
The Sunderland faithful welcoming a side that hasn't been beaten away from home since last February. Side now captained by Sam Allardyce. And the message to Dennis Mortimer's team is clear: anything less than our best will not do. And the author of that remark in today's programme is the Aston Villa manager, Ron Saunders. That's the Aston Villa lineup, unchanged from last Saturday when they won with a late goal at Crystal Palace. No further effects from the virus trouble which affected one or two players there. Gary Shaw, by scoring there, has already got half his overall total of last season. That's 6 as opposed to 12. And among the many interesting players on view, I'm sure many will look closely at number 10, Gordon Cowans. Indeed, there is a great deal of promise about the midfield in this match. Many positive, talented players there. Sunderland also unchanged. And they have in that area Kevin Arnott, Gary Rowell, I'm sure, will play wide, and young Chisholm at number 6. Referee this afternoon is Tony Glasson of Salisbury. Cummins, Shaw, Mortimer, with far post for Cowans, with now coming across, and the corner. And with a little disappointed then, because he started the run across. In fact, he got himself into space, but when Cowans looked up, he was standing on the far post, and he sent the ball to where With had come from. Turner coming for it, but it was Brown who won it. Mortimer, that's a nice ball. Oh! That's a magnificent goal by Alan Evans. Goal coming in the time that the referee has on his watch for the stoppages and injuries. And he really met that very, very crisply indeed. Credit to Mortimer for the ball that went out to the left in the first place, and when it came across, Evans gave Chris Turner no opportunity at all. So the goal in the 45th minute. So away go Aston Villa on the second half, with Eamon Deasy now in the left-back position, in place of Colin Gibson, who was struggling all through the first half with a groin injury. Elliott. And again. Burnley resisting two very strong challenges. And here's Peter With. And the free kick given against Allardyce for foot up against him. The referee indicating that the Sunderland skipper showed a lot of studs. Mortimer on the ball. Cowans. Oh, and Morley's shot! Tony Morley goes to get the congratulations with a shot that sent the goalkeeper the wrong way after the deflection. 59 minutes gone, and Aston Villa have a 2-0 lead, and Tony Morley has his 4th goal of the season, his 2nd in the league. DC. Shaw, Cowans. I've got to turn it back. But he's so determined. Sean Elliott, the unlucky player who deflected the ball past his goalkeeper. Cowans. Shaw. Morley. The opening might be there for him again. And he hit the crossbar. Thunderous applause he's getting for a good run. And good to see him take the opportunity, even if the woodwork denied him the goal. And the Sunderland substitute is Barry Dunn, who's come on in place of Chisholm, giving Sunderland a 3rd player forward. And I think we'll see Brown move more to the middle of the midfield. Morley. DC. And Allardyce was lost, and With had a great opportunity from a good cross from DC to score his 1st goal at Villa Park, but he didn't take it. It really was a heaven-sent chance. Allardyce. Morley seemed to me to jump at him rather than pull the ball. Shaw. Turned it nicely, Elliott covering, With has won it, and turned away by Whitworth. 4 feet of With, twice he's come, apparently so close to scoring his 1st goal for Villa at Villa Park. He did well to battle to get that away from the goalkeeper and Elliott, but when he thought he'd done all that was needed, there was Whitworth to turn it off the line. Cowans and Mortimer work together to plot the corner. Elliott back in the fray. Just a flick. Oh! That was flick, 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 and the final one came from McNaught. Well, to be more accurate, it was the penultimate one because it went for the corner, so the defender must have got the last touch. Away by Bolton. Cowans. Well, that was spectacular enough. made a comfortable back pass from Allardyce. To Robson. Worth the try from Brown. Sunderland ball. Rowell. Shaw. With didn't continue his run. But he can now. Cowan's with him. And the free kick given against Allardyce. And in fact, well, Tony Glasson is going to book Allardyce, not for the foul, but because he felt that Allardyce pulled back Peter With. Well, he, like myself, would have the benefit of seeing the slow motion when it's put in, but I think the referee may well have been mistaken there. He thought it was what has become, for some extraordinary reason, known as the professional foul, which I think is an indictment of the game, that expression. And that was a good save. Evans with the header down. It's Kevin Arnott battling to get something from what is in fact his 100th league appearance. Then Knighton and Frank Clark, the 1 and 2 at Sunderland. Here's Bremner. And curled by Mortimer, but too high. It's a very lively second half. With Flick, and what a good one. Here's Shaw. Ball from across was blind to him then. Bremner. With waiting in the middle. Cowans. Oh, that was superbly done. Shaw. Oh dear, he didn't really hit it through, but it went in all right. Oh, he can puff out his cheeks and feel a certain element of relief. But what a magnificent piece of play by Cowans. Got confidence to stop the ball in that position. So unflurried, and set up the chance for Shaw, which he took for his 7th goal of the season, and about which he can now smile, because he didn't really hit it true. 76 minutes gone. Aston Villa 3, Sunderland 0. And a reminder of the score from the crowd. Elliott. Rowell tried to ride his luck too far. Dunn. With Mortimer. It's a corner. Evans has come forward, number 4 there. And the goalkeeper struggling, and Evans scores. Came off the line, did Evans. The goalkeeper tried to get there before him, but Evans won it. So that's his second goal of the match, Alan Evans. And this one in the 84th minute. And the cry from the crowd is that we're going to win the league. Here's With. And still With. Is this to be it? He's having no luck, although all credit to a good save from Turner. Arnott. And here's Brown with a chance. And off the line, and guess by who? He has an ability to be absolutely everywhere, does Gordon Cowans. It was he who denied the other number 10. That one was McNaught. Elliott. Well, you wouldn't think from that expression that he's entitled to be very happy, Ron Saunders. Done. Arnott. Another look from Mr. Glasson. And after 4 minutes of stoppage time, it finally brings to an end a 4-0 victory for Aston Villa. Very much their best of the season, very much Sunderland's worst in result terms, and indeed the first time they've been beaten away from home since February when they lost at Preston. The most delighted man getting the congratulations of the crowd must be the Aston Villa manager, Ron Saunders.
Well, that win keeps Villa right on course with the two Merseyside clubs, Liverpool and Everton, and all three are now just 3 points behind the leaders, Ipswich, who surprisingly drew at home with Leeds. Nottingham Forest dropped out of the top 7 following their home defeat by Manchester United, who immediately after the game agreed a fee close to £1.25 million for Gary Birtles, Forest's England international striker. The transfer, however, still awaits the approval of the United board, who meet on Wednesday. But the big news we have learned from America today is that the world-class player Forest's assistant manager Peter Taylor has said the club will buy is Johan Neeskens of New York Cosmos. The 29-year-old Dutch international first made his name at Ajax and then Barcelona, where he continued to link so effectively with the great Johan Cruyff, a partnership that was just as devastating for Holland. Well, evidently negotiations for Neeskens' transfer have already begun, and the deal is likely to cost Forest £750,000. The reason Cosmos, the new North American champions, are able to release Neeskens is that they have agreed terms with Cologne for the purchase of Bernd Schuster, the West German international who was one of the stars of the recent European Championship in Italy, and whose delicate pass set up the opening goal for the Germans in their 2-1 victory against Belgium in the final. I must say I'm a little surprised that at the age of 20 Schuster has opted for America, but I suppose a salary of around £200,000 a year has influenced his decision somewhat. Incidentally, the cost to New York Cosmos is £875,000. Finally, the latest news of Kevin Keegan, who was carried off with an ankle injury at Everton yesterday. Laurie McMenemy told us today that he's been trying to contact Ron Greenwood to advise him that Keegan is unlikely to be fit for selection for the World Cup match against Romania.
Well, finally, a brief sample of an enjoyable evening John Motson and I spent with Sunderland fans discussing all aspects of the game of football. And one of the topics was, what effect did trial by television have on referees? If I can just briefly say two things about this, because it's something that you could talk for a very long time. I think it's done two things that are advantageous for referees, if you look at the thing broadly. One, it's made the public realise what a difficult job a referee has. The other thing that it's done for them, before television, a referee could give a perfectly sound decision, perfectly accurate decision, and the visiting manager could complain, and half the team could complain, and the press would pick up the quotes, and the following day that referee would be persecuted by the headlines and the quotes in a newspaper for a mistake that he hadn't made. Everybody else was mistaken, as is frequently the case. Quite often, more often than not, we find that managers and players in the excitement of game are less accurate than the referees and the linesmen who are there to do a particular job of work. So, in the old days, a referee or a linesman could be made to look a fool for giving the right decision. At least if, at the end of the day, and we hope we do try and handle it sympathetically, a referee is seen to have made an error of judgment on television, at least he has made the error of judgment. He's only blamed for something he's done.
On a more light-hearted note, I mean, John Motson is only human, isn't he? I think. But, I mean, he's commented on Match of the Day for a number of seasons now, and he's only human, so he must make mistakes. So what I was thinking was there must have been a time when he made a terrible error. What must be funny, but it's either been cut out or it's been shown and he totally regrets it. And I would like to hear what it was, and if it's really funny and really embarrassing, could we please see it on Sunday? 'Cause I'd love that.
The amazing thing is, it happened here, at Roker Park. And what happened was that we get lots of letters into the programme week in, week out, and one chap wrote into me 4 or 5 times saying that commentators and people who work for television glibly assumed that people up and down the country were all watching on colour sets. But he was managing still up in Gateshead or wherever it was he lived with his little black and white portable, and his son was constantly trying to keep a track of all the colours the teams wore, and he was fed up with hearing people say, well, they're wearing the yellow shirts, because he couldn't see which shirts were yellow and which weren't. So after about the 5th letter, I thought, well, there's only one way to handle this, and that's to try and do something about it on the air, as it were. And as the teams were about to kick off for the start of the second half, and it was at Roker Park, and to be honest, it wasn't the greatest game in the world. So I had a bit of time to think about it, and I said, for the benefit of those watching in black and white, Spurs are wearing the yellow shirts.
Well, I'd like to thank those Sunderland fans for entertaining us well on that night. Sorry they lost their match yesterday.